Okay guys, so we're going to be working right here on the door panel here. Going to be accessing the speaker that's right here, and essentially we're just going to be taking off this panel off, and it is really straightforward and easy. It can seem intimidating, but it's really not. So first thing you're going to do, this trim piece right here, just pull it off. Just come straight off. And you likely will have just a few of these 3 little plastic retainer pieces. I'll be honest, sometimes they do like fall off and they'll go into your door. If that's the case, honestly, just try your best to get them out. Like myself, I only have 1 in here. The other 2, I don't even hear them in the door, so I don't know where they went. But just the ones holding it in place, and honestly, I don't even think it even needs that. But once we take this piece off, we're able to now remove this entire panel. So we're just gonna take off these 2 Phillips heads screws here. So right here behind the door latch, you're going to see this little panel. Just take a flathead or a trim removal tool or something and just kind of fling it over and then unscrew that one. And then there's another one just right here in the door handle part, just another Phillips. So just going to unscrew that real quick. And I could use my drill, but not everybody has those. So just want to show you guys, you can do it with like just general handheld tools. You can do all this stuff with. So, and this one is the longer one. And I will say, when you're putting this all back together, don't over tighten these, as excuse me, it can start to rip through the plastic molding on the door panel and can kind of keep it from really securing it. So just keep that in mind, but know that these 2 screws, they are different, so you're not going to get them mixed up. So now that that's off, we could technically remove the door panel, but we do want to take off the switches here, and that can get stuck a little bit more. If you have the same issue that most people have with this generation truck, is it breaks back here on this side and just constantly moves. So that's the issue that I've got, where it just does not clip in place at all. And up here in the front, it's broken several times, and I have super glued, siliconed, hot glued, and it eventually still always comes undone. But you know, kind of is what it is there. And as far as getting this piece off, there is a little tiny lever on the side. You just pinch that in and then just pull it up, and it detaches just like that. So with that being off now, we can take off the door panel. Now, this is when I like to take just a flathead screwdriver, and you can feel around on the bottom. You can feel that there's like, looks like a dimple right here where you can kind of just get your hand underneath it. But I like to take my flathead just on the back and just pop like that. So that can be intimidating. All you're doing is just releasing the plastic clips there, pulling it off, give a little tap, up and off. Just like that. That is completely done now. So just going to set this off to the side right here. Bam, there you go. Your door panel's off. And if you haven't done this before, you probably have a plastic sheet over this whole thing. I removed that ages ago when I first was doing the sound deadening, where I put panels on the inside of this, but you know, you can only reach so far and all these edges are sharp. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to sound deaden all this up right here, and this part here, just try and get things a little more, I don't know, just sound deadened, I guess. But I'm going to take off the speaker I have here, and I'm going to get the serial number on it and get that over to Rockford. And yeah, so we're going to go ahead, take all that off. But as I was saying, taking that door panel off is ridiculously easy. Like, I just did that in a matter of 4 minutes, and I'm explaining it. So it's honestly extremely straightforward. But yeah, so I'm going to take the sound deadening stuff that I have, and I'm just going to lay it on here, lay it down there. Basically just follow these indentations, because I don't want it to hinder with the backs of this. So I'm also going to go off of the back of this as well, just kind of see where things line up. Yeah, so we'll see how that's all going to go there. I might have to remove some stuff, but we'll find out. But yeah, other than that, it's honestly pretty straightforward. yeah, so I'm going to go take this off and then start looking at how I want to line up the rest of this, and then I will be right back to you guys. Alright guys, so what I did is I just took off the tweeter mounts right here, so I want it to be as flush as possible with the sound deadening stuff, just so that way, you know, I don't want any rattling against that. And then I also took off the bracket that goes there. So I think what my idea is here is I'm just going to go from like this section here, just lay a sheet down and just kind of follow the curve that it has here. So as I'm laying it down and rolling it flat, whatever the excess is on here, I'm just going to cut off. So this is actually why I recommend this, is I went and bought some of these rolling wheels. I want to say it was like 10 bucks for the 3 of these. And honestly, I wish I had done these a while ago, especially when I did the sound deadening underneath everything and on the back there. So these things are definitely going to be coming in handy. So that's nice. Yeah, I'm going to sound deaden all of that. And then I haven't decided if I'm going to take off this bracket yet and then try and sound deaden behind it, or if I'll just kind of go around it. That's definitely the question. I don't quite know what my idea is with that, but I'm going to end up covering all that up, all the little holes up. Yeah, so I'm going to start doing that, and I guess we will go from there. Alright guys, so I basically went ahead and I just did the entire driver door here. So what I did, I took the bracket off of this, took the bracket off of the tweeter, and then kind of just moved around these wires here that go to the door and to the speaker, and then to the mirror as well. Kind of just went in pieces in this general vicinity here, but this one was an entire strip right here that I just ended up cutting down here in the bottom corner. And then just marked out where the holes were. It was honestly really easy. Like, you can just roll it real flat, and then you can kind of see where the indentation is, where one of the holes are. So I just poked it, put it in there, and we were chilling. As far as I have here, I think I'm comfortable with how it's set up. I didn't go around the back right here, just because that's a pretty tight space when the door panel's got to go back on, and I don't think it's really gonna hinder anything right here. But yeah, so I just went ahead and I just basically just covered like this whole thing, like, and as it, you know, it cures and stuff like that, it's gonna become more solid. But I mean, this is an open void gap right here, and let's see if I can get the microphone on this. Like, you can, it's already like sound deadening a lot on here. So I'm gonna do a sound test as well. When this one's completely put back together and the door's closed, I'm gonna knock on the side of it and compare it to the other side, just so you guys know really what the sound difference is. And I wanted to go over a little bit of like technique, I guess, on how I've been doing this. You don't really need to be like gentle, like right here, like this is another hole that's right here too. So you can just, like, this is a wire that goes all the way to the door. You really can just put pressure and roll, you know? Like, that's how you're gonna get good adhesion, is just, you know, get it into every single crevice you can. You want this, the black gooey stuff, to make contact. That's what it is that's gonna be really sound deadening all of that. And as it hardens, it's just gonna be even better. So you wanna make sure all the edges, you know, that you've really rolled down on all of them to get that seal just right. Yeah, there we go. And even when I'm going over other pieces, like, I don't want them to be directly side by side. I want there to be a little bit of overlap going on, because I don't want to miss anything here. And I ended up going just right here behind the tweeter up here too, give it a little more soundproofing there. I might go over some of these spots a little bit more on this side that are right there along like wiring harnesses and stuff, because I want to make sure it really does compact. Yeah, like there's a hole right here too, and right there. Yeah, so we're just going to be sealing all of this up. Let's see. Yeah, let's get a little more going there. So I just tucked like all the wires and stuff around right here, and you know that'll go right there, back on that. I know there's one clip in here that I still have to find, or I'll just take the clip out, honestly. Yeah, honestly, so far, like, I'm actually really, really happy with this. So, yeah, when I did this the first time, I laid it on the inside, because that's the video that I saw. The guy laid it on the inside, but you can't really reach everywhere on the inside, so it kind of did like a half-done job, I guess. So I still have the sound deadening on the inside, but now we have it here as well. So now when I put the speaker on back here, it should block out all of that sound. I might even throw some up here. It's not a bad idea, actually. I don't know yet. I will think about that. So, yeah, as of for now with this, I think I am going to start going on the back door and probably taking apart the wiring that I had for the speakers. I tested it and it said it had power when the speaker stopped working, but I think I'm just going to redo, like, put in some better wire on these just to make sure that that's not an issue, a reoccurring issue, I guess. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys how to take off the back panel on a passenger door now, because it's a little bit different than how these are, but relatively the same. But yeah, so I'll go on ahead and I will get into the other door. And I also recommend, I did want to point this out, this stuff is sharp, so you do want to be careful, like when you're working on this or when you're cutting it. Like, I just use regular scissors to cut it, but just honestly, like, be careful, as you know, like, I already like cut the back of my hand on there, but generally because I have some practice with this, but these edges can be sharp, so just, yeah, like right here, this is a spot that, like, where the little sheet metal or tin, whatever this is, honestly, ripped a little bit right here. Like, that can be really, really sharp when you're going over that, like if you're gonna rub it with your hands to try and flatten it out, which is why the roller wheel is just OP, man. That is nice. Yeah, that's extremely helpful. So definitely grab a roller wheel, you guys, because it's gonna save you so much of a headache. But yeah, like I said, that's basically it for the driver's side here. We're gonna go ahead and hop onto the passenger door here, and I'll show you guys how to go from there. Be right back. All right, guys, so fairly similar process here with this side. So trim piece over here in the back, you're just gonna, I'll just give it a little wiggle. There we go. Bottom clip on the bottom here. That's the one that's the hardest to get out. So just kind of pull on that a little bit and it should go. Once you do that, I don't have these clips anymore. I've missed these for a while, but you just use your little removal tool there and it just comes right off. And that's the same here. Excuse me. You'll have a Phillips right here and then a Phillips down inside this tray area. And then you're going to want to just pop that little handle out. So I just leave the screws just sitting inside of that. And then from there, we're going to go through the same process. Where feel under here. Alright, and then just a little pop. And then wiggle it up. Now this is where it gets interesting though, because this part doesn't pop out. So try to remember here, since it's still plugged in. That's right. Do a little flipperooski. Let's see. It's been a minute since I've taken this off. There we go. Yeah, come around this backside's easier. Got a feel for the switch. Where did it go? There it is. Yeah, this one's tricky because it's on the back side of it. As I was saying, it's going to be right there. So just get your arm in, push on it, tug it, and then it's out. So, one thing I neglected to say on the driver's side doors, I did clean all this out. Just used, some soapy water and some spray, and it came off, like, and just wiped it down. Yeah, so with this, I'm probably gonna end up taking this off. I might do some repairing to the speakers here. Maybe not, because I plan to replace these ones. Yeah, I'll pop this off. Back doors honestly will be the easiest, because you can just throw pieces up and then call it. So yeah, honestly, if you're hesitant on doing the driver or the front doors first, start with the back ones. This seems like it's going to be significantly easier. Oh, I guess I can pull all that out. That's cool. As you guys can see though, like this silver stuff in here, that's the original sound deadening stuff that I had put in here. So I mean, even still, like, that does pretty good, but that's kind of what I'm talking about. So we want to cover this and just seal all of that off. So yeah, I'm going to pop these off here, and I'm just going to start laying down the sheets, rolling them on, and I guess we'll go from there. It's going to be pretty straightforward. Be right back. All right, guys. So I went on ahead and did all of the sound deadening on the back door here. Put the speaker on. I redid all of the speaker wiring to the both driver sides. So I went and did that. Started putting everything back together. I haven't turned it on to see if it's quite fixed the issue or anything like that yet. But this is looking really, really good here. Like, that's already pretty sturdy. Like, this is I put this on about an hour ago, and I was working on these. So that's already pretty solid. And I did go onto the other side and just like knock on the door. We're using my fist, basically, just kind of like hitting on the outside, and yeah, it does sound a pretty good difference, I guess. But yeah, so I went ahead, put these back in, and then now I'm just gonna match the doors up, plug the doors back in. And as you can see here, if you might notice on mine, is I have just an extra wire here. This is what would go into the stock speaker, and since my speakers are no longer stock, this is kind of useless. And this also goes directly into the factory head unit, and I don't need to do that anymore because I have all my stuff plugged in amplifiers. So this is kind of useless. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get the panels back on, and then we'll work our way on the other side. Be right back. Okay, guys, so it's actually been a couple weeks since I've last, I guess, filmed for this sound deadening. There are some spots that have a little bit of excess on the side. Like, I'll show you over here. Like, not my purple pillow. That's a sad day. It's all right. I'll clean that off in a second. I'm about to go camping, so yeah, like right here, just excess over the side. And honestly, I could just cut that, but I don't really care. So if that would bug you, you can go ahead and just cut all that out. But other than that, like, it makes such an absolute difference. 100%, you guys. Like, honestly, it's not even a hard job. It's just kind of time consuming. So, but it's worth it. Like, oh yeah, one of the videos I'll show you guys had the windows tinted, but yeah, it's sounding pretty good. Like, I can't really even hear it most of the time in the truck anymore, which is nice. But yep, highly recommend, especially if you're gonna go wheeling or you really like listening to music. It's just gonna protect all your bases and make it more comfortable. So yeah, hope you guys like that. And if you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below, and catch you guys in the next one. See ya.